Erin had an old friend reach out to her on Instagram. He had a couple bicycles he was getting rid of because he was moving, and he asked her if she had any interest in them. She showed me the picture, and I could tell from some of the components that, yeah, they look like they'd be something worth checking out. I'm glad we went down there to get them because this one is a 1993 Stumpjumper. Someone has stripped the front of the paint and covered it in stickers, but it's mostly all here, so I think it's just missing the rear derailleur. I haven't really gone over it yet. We'll do that on the live stream on Tuesday, and then maybe there'll be some bike builds with this in the future. The other one is sitting over there, and it's a Bridgestone. It's got a respray, so I'm not sure exactly what model it is, but I did look at a bunch of Bridgestones online, and that's definitely what it is, a mountain bike. One of the MB series, probably. So definitely worth it going down there and getting these bikes. And by down there, I mean Canton. So what we did is we also loaded up a couple of our bikes and decided to go for a ride. Neither of us had been down to Canton for a while, so we figured, let's go explore. We were gonna go to our favorite restaurant, George's, bar, restaurant, really cool little spot, but they weren't open till dinner like so many places right now these days. So we decided to do some riding instead. We cruised around the downtown, and then Erin brought up a coffee shop she had wanted to check out. So we kind of mapped it out and just kind of winged it, going through like the residential areas and staying off the busy roads, which is really easy to do in the neighborhoods north of downtown Canton. It's a grid system pretty much, and there's tons of alleys, so it's just really cool. We just kind of cruised through there, got to the coffee shop. Turned out to be a really cool spot. We actually kind of know the person who had done all the artwork that was in there and everything, so we were really glad we had done that. Had our coffee, and then we cruised on. We worked our way north farther through the neighborhoods and then cut over to the West Branch Trail, which kind of follows along the west branch of the Muskellunge Creek. First we went north and finished where the trail ends, did a little loop through a park that was called Covered Bridge Park, but strangely, I didn't find a covered bridge anywhere. It was kind of just a big open field along the creek, actually, and a cinder path around it. We then headed back south following the path. It's kind of a, kind of a towpathy type trail, crushed limestone. Not super well maintained, but totally fine, for riding, especially, well, I guess I was on my gravel bike. Erin was on her Surly Pacer, which has 32s and was still able to handle it all right. It kind of goes through the parks that are on the edge of Canton, like the edge of downtown, where a lot of people go to hang out and work out and play basketball and all that kind of stuff. We then cut over to the McKinley Monument. So it's the final resting place of President William McKinley, who was assassinated in, I think, 1901, right about there. I can't remember exactly. But Erin had asked me what McKinley was famous for, and I said getting shot. But beyond that, it would be probably the Spanish-American War, where we kicked Spain out of this hemisphere because they were a colonial power, and then we just became a colonial power, That's why we have Puerto Rico and Guam. Anyways, enough of the history lesson. We decided to then work our way back through the neighborhoods into downtown because now we were getting hungry for lunch. Canton Brewing, a place I've been to before, was one of the few places that were actually open for lunch, and they now do a German menu. I don't think it was like that the last time I was there, but it was perfect because it's Oktoberfest time, and so we had really good German food there, and we each had one beer, and we each had a beer, and they were both different, and they were both good. And then we rode over to a newer brewery that we had never been to, Muskellunge Brewing, if I'm pronouncing that right. It actually has a fish theme, the underwater fish, not the horrible jam band fish. So pretty cool, good spot. We each had a beer there again. We each got a different one, and they were both really good. We really weren't trying to drink more than that. It was, just kind of late afternoon, but we were glad we tried it out. Then after that, we just rode back to the car, which we had just parked in a, where we found a spot downtown. So all in all, just kind of a good chill day out riding. Like, neither of us were really hitting it hard. I think we put in like 15 miles, just kind of cruising around and sightseeing. It's really fun, and that's one of the things that reminds me about bikes, just going to a city that I've been to a number of times. It's only, a half an hour down the road from here in Akron, but you just see it in a whole new light when you go and explore it on your bikes. Like, I'd have no reason to ever cruise through those neighborhoods or anything like that, but having our bikes and having a couple little destinations to check out, just made it a really fun day where, I don't know, instead of riding the same old trails we ride around here all the time, which nothing wrong with that, but just a reminder of, there's so much to explore no matter where you live. So one other thing is, this is the first video that I filmed for the channel with the new GoPro Hero 11 Black. Don't have a lot of thoughts on it yet, as, first look. You know, the footage looks good, probably a little better, but I did make a whole first impression members video, so if you're a channel member, you could check that out. It's kind of what I think and kind of why I was willing to upgrade to this one. If you're not a channel member, I think there's ones as cheap as $1.99 a month, and it's just a good way to support the channel. And then I try and do some nerdy behind the scenes stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to get into a long-winded GoPro review for this channel. I just don't think it's what people are here for. But if you're into that kind of stuff, there is a way to check it out. So that's it for now. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one.